Ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, guests, excellencies, if I could please ask you to take your seats, to come on in from the plenary so we may begin today's events. It's quite a packed day, a lot of things that are happening which we're very excited about, but for them to all remain on time, we need to start. Thank you very much. Thank you. Can I ask people and insist if they would please take their seats? There's plenty of time to chat afterwards. We are being followed live online around the world, including through UN television and on the UN blog. So thank you, so that colleagues around the world can also be part of this ceremony. If I could ask that we close the plenary doors, please, colleagues, so that we can take a seat. We are going to be starting in, I'm going to say 30 seconds to see how we can get to our seats as quickly as possible. Thank you very much, and welcome to the 2024 World Food Day ceremony marking this very important international day, which also is the FAO birthday. So welcome to this celebration. Thank you. I now leave you with my colleagues.
It's a universal principle of life, a fundamental human right. Everyone should have access to enough, nutritious, diverse, affordable, and safe foods. Yet hunger persists due to conflicts, weather shocks, inequalities, and economic downturns. Over 2.8 billion people cannot afford a healthy diet, and obesity is on the rise worldwide. A greater diversity of nutritious foods should be available in our fields, fishing nets, markets, and in our dishes for the benefit of all. It starts with nature, a journey from our farms to tables, celebrating our cultural identities. World Food Day. Food is a right, every day, for everyone, everywhere, leaving no one behind.
Excellencies, friends, colleagues, guests, welcome to the World Food Day Ceremony 2024 with the theme Right to Foods for a Better Life and a Better Future. This year, we celebrate FAO's 79th birthday, and we will launch the 80-1 anniversary countdown, a special 365-day celebration of FAO's 8 decades of growing together. I'm Laura Hernandez, and I have the honor to work here at FAO, and I'm joined by my colleague and friend, Frank Nyakairo, and we will be starting off today's event.
Thank you, Laura, and greetings to you all. Today's event includes a live interpretation in all UN languages, including Italian and in sign language. And if you're watching us live on UN TV and the UN News blog, please feel free to post content on social media using the official hashtags.
Food is a basic human need alongside air and water. Everyone should have the right to adequate food. The theme, Right to Foods for a Better Life and a Better Future, reminds us of our critical mission, ensuring food security for everyone, everywhere, leaving no one behind.
Laura, it's interesting how the word foods is used here. The S at the end of the word foods stands for affordability, diversity, nutrition, and safety.
Thanks, Frank. That's such an important point because we're talking about having food on the table and about making sure that a greater diversity of nutritious food is accessible and safe for all. But too many people still face hunger due to global challenges like conflict, extreme weather events, and economic shocks.
And that's why this year's World Food Day event is calling on us all to play our part to make sure that no one is left behind. A better future and a better life is for everyone.
It is something that should resonate with every single one of us, no matter where we are. We are reminded that only when everyone enjoys the human right to adequate food will we achieve the 2030 Agenda.
And we have 5 years, only 5 years, to reach that goal. The clock is ticking. Everyone must play their role to ensure that no one is left behind. We need to act now, together, to ensure that no one is left behind.
It is a shared responsibility, but it is also an opportunity for us to work together. Together, we can shape a future where everyone enjoys their right to food. And now, to launch today's ceremony, here with us is the FAO Director General, Dr. Chu Dong-yu. Director General, the floor is yours.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues and friends, good morning from Rome. Happy World Food Day and happy 79th birthday to FAO and to you all. This year's World Food Day theme, Right to Foods for a better life, a better future, is a timely reminder that all people have the right to adequate food. With 730 million people facing hunger, it is clear there is still much work to be done. And FAO's mandate to ensure food security for all is as valid as ever. Currently, more than 2.8 billion people in the world cannot afford healthy diets. Malnutrition in its various forms exists in all the countries and the socio-economic classes. But even in the high-income economies, people are choosing convenient and healthy foods, unhealthy food. This problem related to agri-food system, since the nutritious, diverse food needed for the healthy diet are insufficiently available or unaffordable. Food insecurity should be solved based on food security on food availability, food accessibility, and food affordability. This World Food Day, I'm calling on all of us to renew our commitment of building more efficient, more inclusive, more resilient, and more sustainable agri-food systems that can nourish the world. Agri-food systems that support the smallholder farmers, family farmers, and the small business people across the value chain, who in many countries are fundamental to making nutritious, diverse food available to all, and to preserving traditional food cultures. There is no time to lose. We must take immediate action to ensure they integrate for betters. For better production and better nutrition, governments need to enable healthy diets for everyone, everywhere, by incentivizing the production, improve the productivity, and sell the more nutritious food and promote their consumption in a healthy way. A better environment. We need to produce more with less. I said so many times, more quantity, high quality, more diversity food with less input, agricultural input, less negative impact on environment. We need to produce enough diverse food while at the same time preserving biodiversity and protect the planet. And a better life. Science and innovation, including IT, AI, biotechnology, and digital agriculture, and so forth, are key for the transformation of agri-food system to ensure a better life for all, leaving no one behind. To support the government, the private sector needs to shift away from the unhealthy food and make a great diversity of safe, nutritious food available, affordable, and appealing. They need to be our allies in addressing these global challenges together. A government cannot do it alone. Dear friends, let us remember that there cannot be food security without peace. Peace is a prerequisite for food security, and the right to food is a basic human right. We cannot build peaceful communities without addressing hunger and malnutrition. As I always say, the world is presenting us with many challenges at the moment, but this challenge also presents us many opportunities to change. Change is only the way can solve the problems. Big development leads to big change. Small development leads to small change. Non-development accumulate problems. The solution is development. Today, I'm delighted to celebrate the FAO Achievement Award. This award serves not only as a symbol of the excellence, but also as an encouragement and a vision both to those who receive it and for the wider global community. Since I came, 4 years ago, we started reorganizing all the awards of the FAO present to appreciation, leadership, progress, achievement to the individual, to the institution, to the country. Now it's a more systematic way to show our appreciation and this support from the members and from the individuals. By celebrating this innovative solutions and breakthrough achievement, the FAO Achievement Awards motivate us all to take a bold action towards a better, more sustainable future. Today, I have the great honor to present this precious award to an extraordinary institute, the Institute of Plant Protection of the Chinese Academy of Agri-Sciences. Yeah, I left the academy more than 25 years. There's a new generation of scientists that do more international contribution than I was. So I really pleased their breakthrough work in combating the follow-army war to support the action plan we initiated here 5 years ago and had a profound impact, not only in China, in Asia, and also globally. By leading the development of the sustainable pest management system to combat the follow-army worm, The Institute has made significant progress in protecting crops and ensure food supplies. International framework for fallow armyworm control they established has been instrumental in improving food security and reducing crop losses worldwide. This recognition is not just a celebration of what has been done and accomplished, but also a call to action for what remains to be done more and better. The efforts of the Institute amplify the kind of leadership we need to effectively, efficient, and coherently support members to achieve the SDGs, especially SDG 2. Congratulations to the Institute of Plant Protection of the Chinese Academy of Exosciences. I wish you continued success in your innovative work and cooperate more and closer with the global partners. What is my contribution to inspire us to take action for the people, planet, and prosperity? Dear friends, the younger generation has a vital role to play. A food-secure future without malnutrition is their human rights. Tomorrow, I look forward to continue this conversation with the students at the Junior World Food Day School Assembly event. Actually, 3 years ago, we started this event to make this room so warm, so vivid. It's real. You can feel the young generation bring the full of energy and power to this house. And we keep this traditional as a new traditional. Today also marks the start of our preparation leading up to FAO's 8th anniversary in October 2025. That's also a good time for us to revisit our original aspiration. It's a good time to remember our ancestors during the World War II. 90% of the population in the world is suffering from hunger. That's one of the historical lessons that we never forget. World War II, during that period, how many millions of people life lost? How many? I said more than 90% of people are suffering from starvation. After World War II, because of our ancestors established the United Nations system, and especially FAO, and other UN special agencies, with the technology, with the investment, with the enabling policy, with the hard work of the food producers in the world. Now, of course, we still have a lot of challenges and daunting pressure to feed everyone. At least now we are satisfied to say that less than 10% suffering. 1 out of 11 have the hunger. So it's a historical achievement, 80 years. So that's why we, together with our colleagues, we are going to count down 8-1 activities to keep the 365 days to remind us it is some new, think more, think deeper, and come to the concrete action to another 80 years. That's my real purpose. I'm so happy to share with you President Mattarella of Italy. He already took the first step to support this. And last week we had the first ever FAO official delegation visit the Palace of the Republic and started these activities already. A milestone that will offer an opportunity to reform FAO's unique role as a leading global intergovernmental specialized agency with the mandate to support members for eradicating hunger and poverty. To mark this commemoration and for our collective legacy, we will establish a FAO Food and Agriculture Museum and Network. And you can see the indigenous tent still in front of our West Gate. So we should promote the innovation on one hand, and at the same time, that's a nature of the agriculture and the food systems and the rural areas. We also have to try our best to remain culture, food culture, agricultural civilizations. Even we now is the first generation of the industrialization, but don't forget, we have no right to lose. So we are going to have start the first collaboration with SECRO, ECOMON. Yeah? So, and also we try to work together to have the cross-cut, yeah? Crossover even, the cooperation. The museum will be the interactive, digital, and informative space open to students, school, families, and individuals, both for those who live in Rome or Italy or in general, or as well as those coming to visit the entire city from all over corners of the world, both in person and more important online, because we established a digital FAO. That's also it's a platform for all the members, all the stakeholders, partners to promote your traditional knowledge, traditional technology, traditional and modern farming practice, and also food culture as well. Through the digital FAO, all members are united and can share with their products, food, technology, culture, and traditional communities. It will provide a network among global agri-food system and the world food technology and culture embodied in our rich history and grounded in our traditional and indigenous heritage, with the latest scientific innovation and technology to continue ensuring the four betters going forward. Dear friends, this week around the world, hundreds of events are taking place to mark World Food Day 2024 and call for action in over 50 languages. Let us answer the call this World Food Day for the right to food, for a better life, a better future. Let's renew our commitment to build an efficient, inclusive, resilient, and sustainable agri-food system that guarantees rights to food, to the good food for all. Together, we can get back on track to achieve the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development goals by transforming agri-food system under the overarching of the four betters. I thank you. Thank you for your attention. And happy World Food Day. Happy FAO birthday. Thank you.
Sheshe, Director General, as you say, our future is also inspired by our past. Italy and FAO have had a unique relationship for quite some time. Italy is not only our host country since 1951, but is also a crucial partner in FAO's mission to end hunger and malnutrition worldwide and accelerate sustainable development. We invite His Excellency Francesco Lollobrigida, Minister of Agriculture, Food Sovereignty and Forests of Italy, to join us on stage.
Grazie, eccellenze, distinti delegati e delegate, benvenuti a Roma. Permettetemi di salutare alcune personalità che ci onorano della loro presenza, a partire da Sua Maestà King Letsie III del Lesotho, alla direttrice Cindy McCain del PAM, e ovviamente di ringraziare il padrone di casa, il direttore Mr. Chu, che in questi anni ha saputo rendere la FAO ancora più capace di incidere, ancora più capace di organizzare eventi che potessero caratterizzare un'azione di sviluppo organica di strategie che nascevano dal confronto tra le diverse nazioni. So che Mr. Chu, il direttore, apprezzerà anche che io saluti tutti i suoi vice direttori, con particolare attenzione però a Maurizio Martina, vice direttore italiano, con il quale collaboriamo attivamente per rendere l'Italia portatrice di quei contributi che possono essere di carattere intellettuale, conoscitivo, frutto della storia della nostra nazione e che possano puntare ad avere come obiettivo sì la sicurezza alimentare intesa come cibo per tutti, ma senza mai dimenticare un termine che per noi resta fondamentale: cibo di qualità per tutti, perché a nostro avviso è esattamente questo quello che distingue in termini strategici l'approccio alla sicurezza alimentare. Per l'Italia il cibo non è solo nutrimento, è cultura, è tradizione, è produzione, è valore, ed è in quest'ottica che intendiamo continuare a immaginare una collaborazione di carattere multilaterale che permetta di arrivare agli obiettivi strategici, non perdendo quel virtuoso rapporto che c'è nella produzione di cibo tra terra, uomo e lavoro. Prima di passare al tema del diritto all'alimentazione, che è oggetto di dibattito di questa giornata, vorrei ricordare che oggi si celebra il 79° anniversario della Costituzione della FAO e augurare quindi quest'anno di buon lavoro alla FAO per arrivare ai grandi eventi che sono previsti per l'80° anniversario. Ma quest'anno si celebra anche un'importante ricorrenza, ovvero il 20° anniversario delle linee guida volontarie del Comitato per la sicurezza alimentare mondiali, che propugnano la progressiva realizzazione del diritto a un'alimentazione adeguata nel contesto della sicurezza alimentare. Ed è proprio da questa ricorrenza che vorrei partire. Il cibo, oltre ad essere un elemento essenziale per la vita, al pari dell'aria che respiriamo e dell'acqua, è un diritto fondamentale per ogni essere umano. Purtroppo le condizioni attuali non ci permettono di verificare in maniera positiva gli esiti delle strategie finora messe in campo, anche perché la situazione si è aggravata con gli effetti di un cambio climatico che è diventato più rapido, con gli effetti di conflitti a livello mondiale che invece di diminuire si moltiplicano, anche coinvolgendo aree del pianeta che da tempo ne erano esenti. 733 milioni di persone soffrono la fame e 2,8 miliardi di persone non possono permettersi un'alimentazione corretta. Sono i dati del rapporto SOFI 2024. Allo stesso tempo, circa il 14% del cibo prodotto a livello mondiale viene perduto dopo il raccolto, mentre il 17% viene sprecato a livello di vendita al dettaglio e di consumo. Questi sono proprio i dati della FAO. Un paradosso che ben rende l'idea di come, a soli 6 anni dalla scadenza dell'Agenda 2030, siamo ancora molto lontani dagli obiettivi che ci eravamo posti: sradicare la fame del mondo. Ma non basta garantire cibo sufficiente, l'ho già sottolineato, bisogna assicurare cibo di qualità. Il diritto al cibo non può prescindere dal diritto ad un'alimentazione adeguata. Purtroppo la malnutrizione è un problema di carattere complessivo che riguarda, sì, le nazioni che non hanno garanzia di autosufficienza alimentare, ma riguarda purtroppo anche le nazioni ricche che oggi hanno alimentazione inadeguata, portando problemi sanitari come l'obesità e il sovrappeso a livelli eccezionali, con costi che gravano sulla collettività e con problemi per la salute pubblica di carattere generale. Oggi più che mai avvertiamo la necessità di mettere in atto sforzi comuni ad individuare soluzioni rapide ed efficaci per affrontare le molteplici crisi alimentari, raggiungere la sicurezza alimentare e ridurre la malnutrizione, preservando al contempo le risorse naturali e accelerando la trasformazione dei sistemi alimentari, al fine di accrescerne l'efficienza, la resilienza e la capacità di resistere ad eventi improvvisi. Mi riferisco innanzitutto al tema della sovranità alimentare, che riteniamo essere centrale e che necessita un cambiamento di approccio rispetto al passato. La sovranità alimentare non è la chiusura dei mercati, è la garanzia delle nazioni in termini democratici di scegliere il proprio sistema produttivo e scegliere il proprio livello di alimentazione. garantendo catene di approvvigionamento certe. Siamo convinti che per assicurare la sicurezza alimentare e sconfiggere la fame a livello globale sia indispensabile mantenere aperti e pienamente funzionanti i mercati agricoli internazionali, ma allo stesso tempo riteniamo che essi debbano essere regolati per assicurare l'equità, l'inclusività, la trasparenza, affinché sia assicurata un'adeguata remunerazione agli agricoltori e la valorizzazione delle produzioni locali. Preservare il reddito degli agricoltori ed in particolare quello delle piccole realtà imprenditoriali dalla concorrenza sleale significa per noi sostenere la sicurezza alimentare, contribuendo al contempo alla mitigazione dei cambiamenti climatici, alla conservazione della biodiversità e degli ecosistemi, alla preservazione dei territori e delle tradizioni. Gli agricoltori sono per noi l'elemento centrale di contrasto agli effetti del cambio climatico. Noi consideriamo gli agricoltori i primi ambientalisti del Paese e i primi ambientalisti del pianeta e riteniamo debbano essere protetti e incentivati a continuare a svolgere il loro prezioso ruolo di custodi del territorio. Ma tutto ciò non basta. Se vogliamo fornire risposte adeguate alle grandi sfide attuali, occorre promuovere l'innovazione in agricoltura attraverso il ricorso a pratiche agricole maggiormente sostenibili, investimenti mirati alla ricerca e allo sviluppo delle nuove tecnologie che oggi ci consentono di efficientare la produzione, riducendo al contempo gli impatti negativi sull'ambiente degli agrofarmaci, cosiddetti pesticidi, e potendo immaginare anche un utilizzo più corretto di un altro bene preziosissimo come l'acqua. Accanto a ciò crediamo fortemente anche nel ruolo delle giovani generazioni e al ruolo fondamentale delle donne che devono avere pari dignità anche salariale e di protezione dei loro diritti. In quest'ottica riteniamo fondamentale investire sull'istruzione, sulla formazione e sullo sviluppo delle capacità produttive intese anche come crescita culturale degli operatori di quest'area di sistema. Allo stesso tempo crediamo sia fondamentale promuovere un settore alimentare più equo attraverso la creazione di posti di lavoro dignitosi e il sostegno all'imprenditorialità lungo tutta la filiera del valore per incrementare i mezzi di sussistenza e ridurre la povertà nelle aree rurali, soprattutto nelle aree rurali che rischiano lo spopolamento. E se l'agricoltura manca, se manca la possibilità di lavorare il terreno, le cose non vanno meglio per l'ambiente. L'ambiente si desertifica e le problematiche legate al cambiamento climatico portano effetti più devastanti. Queste sono le tematiche e le sfide sulle quali ci siamo confrontati con alcuni paesi ed organizzazioni internazionali durante il recente incontro ministeriale del G7 e sulle quali saremo chiamati a confrontarci anche nei prossimi anni. L'impegno come Italia è quello di sostenere iniziative come queste, di collaborare con la FAO, con l'auspicio che possa continuare a portare avanti con rinnovato impegno e slancio il proprio mandato. L'Italia ha 3.000 anni di storia alle sue spalle, ha cultura, ha avuto la possibilità di essere, anche se una piccola nazione nel pianeta, un luogo in cui si sono incontrati tutti i popoli del mondo, tutte le culture del mondo. L'Italia ancora oggi vuole essere questo e siamo davvero lieti di ospitare la FAO da sempre come crogiuolo di un nuovo modo di vivere all'interno del pianeta che sia sempre più equo e giusto. Grazie e buon lavoro a tutti.
Grazie mille Ministro, essere con oggi noi. Forgive my Italian. I tried. Thank you very much, Minister. On this World Food Day, we are calling for action. This call is being answered by people around the world in 150 countries, in 50 languages. For those coming to Rome, World Food Day welcomes you at every turn, from Fiumicino Airport to Termini Station and the city buses. In celebrating World Food Day, many other cities around the world join us today.
In fact, we also have billboards in Jakarta, Valencia, Toronto, trains in Belgium, Morocco, and Spain, buses and subways in Bucharest, Santo Domingo, and Santiago de Chile, airports in Switzerland, Vietnam, and Panama, and even shopping centers in China and Uzbekistan.
Media outlets worldwide have joined us in spreading the word. Events in Barbados, Japan, and Slovakia. Cinemas in 20 countries in Africa, including Ethiopia, Senegal, and Rwanda. And iconic landmarks such as the Piccadilly Circus and Niagara Falls.
But World Food Day is about public engagement as well as the moral leadership in the fight against hunger and the access of food for all. His Holiness Pope Francis is unwavering in his commitment to champion a food-secure world, inspiring us to take action for those in need and to build a better future. The message from His Holiness will be read by His Excellency Monsignor Cicarellano, the Vatican representative to FAO, who is joining us now on stage. Thank you.
Buenos días a todos y a todas, señor director general, majestad, señores ministros, viceministros, delegados, amigos todos y amigas. Tengo el honor de dar lectura al mensaje que Su Santidad, el Papa Francisco, dirige al señor director general de la FAO con motivo de esta Jornada Mundial de la Alimentación 2024. Dice así: Señor director general, la 44ª Jornada Mundial de la Alimentación nos invita a reflexionar sobre el derecho a los alimentos para una vida y un futuro mejores. Esto es algo prioritario, ya que satisface una de las necesidades básicas del ser humano, es decir, alimentarse para vivir en consonancia con adecuados estándares cualitativos y cuantitativos que garanticen la digna existencia de la persona humana. Sin embargo, vemos este derecho frecuentemente menoscabado y no aplicado con justicia, con las nocivas consecuencias que esto conlleva. En aras de la promoción del derecho a la alimentación, la FAO propone con agudeza considerar una transformación de los sistemas alimentarios que tenga en cuenta la pluralidad y la variedad de alimentos nutritivos, asequibles, sanos y sostenibles como medio para lograr la seguridad alimentaria y dietas sanas para todos. Para ello es preciso no olvidar la dimensión social y cultural intrínseca que tiene el acto de nutrirse. Al respecto, responsables políticos y económicos a escala internacional han de escuchar las demandas de los últimos de la cadena alimentaria, como los pequeños agricultores, y de las formaciones sociales intermedias, como la familia, que intervienen directamente en la alimentación de las personas. Las soluciones enérgicas para afrontar y resolver los problemas alimentarios de nuestro tiempo requieren que consideremos los principios de subsidiariedad y de solidaridad como fundamentos de nuestros programas y proyectos de desarrollo, para que nunca se postergue la escucha real de las necesidades que vienen de abajo, de los trabajadores y de los agricultores, de los pobres y de los hambrientos, y de los que viven con dificultades en zonas rurales aisladas. Jesucristo nos ha enseñado: todo lo que deseen que los demás hagan por ustedes, háganlo por ellos. En esto consiste la ley y los profetas. La humanidad herida por tantas injusticias, reclama con apremiante urgencia medidas eficaces para llevar una vida mejor, actuando juntos, animados siempre por el mismo espíritu de fraternidad y sabiendo que este planeta que Dios nos ha dado ha de ser un jardín abierto a la serena convivencia. En esto pensaba, dice el Papa, cuando propuse considerar el paradigma de la ecología integral para que se tuvieran en cuenta las necesidades de cada hombre y de todo el hombre, para que se protegiera su dignidad en relación con los demás y en escucha y en estrecha conexión con el cuidado de la creación. Solo si tomamos el ideal de justicia como guía de nuestra acción, se podrán atender las necesidades de las personas. Ello exige, asimismo, que nos dejemos interpelar y conmover por la condición del otro y que la solidaridad se convierta en la principal de nuestras decisiones. De este modo, la protección de las generaciones futuras irá de la mano de la escucha y la actuación a favor de las demandas de las generaciones presentes, mediante una alianza inter e intrageneracional que nos convoque a todos a la fraternidad y dé un sentido nuevo, más auténtico, a la cooperación internacional, una cooperación que debe animar a esta organización y a todo el sistema multilateral. En este camino, lleno de obstáculos y también de dificultades, pero a la vez apasionante y colmado de retos, la comunidad internacional contará con el aliento de la Santa Sede y de la Iglesia Católica, que no dejan de brindar su tenaz contribución para que todos puedan disponer de alimentos en cantidad y calidad adecuadas para sí mismos y para sus familias, para que cada persona pueda llevar una vida digna y para que se derrote definitivamente la dolorosa lacra de la miseria y del hambre en el mundo. Con estos sentimientos y deseos, sobre todos ustedes y sobre los que trabajan por estas nobles causas, el Papa invoca la bendición de Dios Todopoderoso, que nunca se cansa de sostener a quienes tienen en el corazón el bien de la entera comunidad. Vaticano, 16 de octubre de 2024, Francisco, Papa. Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias, Su Excelencia. Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to introduce Muchas gracias. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor to introduce King Letsie III of Lesotho, FAO's Special Goodwill Ambassador for Nutrition, who has also been championing FAO's efforts to help communities in Africa. His Majesty has been a vital partner of FAO's efforts to address food security and has been a global advocate for nutrition across Africa, building resilience in agriculture. Let's welcome His Majesty King Letsie III to the stage.
Your Excellencies, honorable ministers here present, the Director General of the FAO, Dr. Shu Dong-yu, Executive Director of the World Food Programme, Ms. Cindy McCain, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor and privilege to stand before you today as we gather to celebrate World Food Day 2024. This annual occasion serves as a vital reminder of our collective responsibility to ensure that every individual has access to the fundamental human right of food. This year's theme, Right to Foods for a Better Life and a Better Future, resonates deeply with our mission to create a world where everyone can enjoy a variety of diverse, nutritious, and safe foods sourced from sustainable agri-food systems. This theme is not merely a vision for today, it is a commitment to building a healthier and more equitable tomorrow for all. As we reflect on the current state of food security, we must confront the harsh reality that globally, 1 in 11 people and 1 in 5 in Africa faced hunger in the year 2023. However, it is crucial to understand that the issue at hand extends beyond mere hunger. The right to food encompasses ensuring that everyone has access to a diversity of nutritious foods that contribute to a full, healthy, and dignified life. It is fundamentally about enabling healthy diets. Regrettably, we find ourselves in a situation where a staggering 1/3 of the world's population cannot afford a healthy diet. This is a crisis that demands our immediate attention and action. Without access to healthy diets and the realization of the right to food, we face dire consequences. Children will suffer. Boys and girls will not reach their full potential, and the health and well-being of women and men will be compromised, leading to deficiencies in many contexts and contributing to the growing epidemic of overweight and obesity in populations around the world. Despite these challenges, we have the power to reverse this trend. We can transform our agri-food systems to enable everyone, everywhere, to enjoy healthy diets. This is our right to adequate food. Achieving good nutrition is not just an aspiration. It is an achievable goal that we must strive for collectively. A well-nourished child is more likely to survive and thrive in their growth and development. This, in turn, contributes to their learning and employment outcomes, shaping the future for their families and communities, and ultimately driving the economic growth of nations. The importance of nutrition cannot be overstated. It is the foundation upon which we build a prosperous future. In my role as the FAO Goodwill Ambassador on Nutrition and the African Union Nutrition Champion, I not only have the opportunity to advocate for the changes necessary to ensure good nutrition, but I also have the privilege to learn and share inspiring examples of where we are already making a difference. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to take this opportunity to share a few inspiring examples of the positive changes we are witnessing in the realm of food security and nutrition. In alignment with the theme of the World Food Day 2024, the Pan-African Parliament, an important organ of the African Union, has collaborated with the FAO to develop a model law on food security and nutrition. This model law serves as a guiding framework, inspiring African Union member states to formulate their own legislation that upholds the right to adequate food, as well as food security and nutrition for all citizens. To facilitate this transition from this model law to concrete legislative action, parliamentary alliances have been established across the continent. These alliances are instrumental in strengthening the capacity of parliamentarians, empowering them to become champions of food security and advocates for good nutrition within their respective countries. This collaborative effort is crucial in ensuring that legislative measures are not only developed, but are also effectively implemented to address the pressing issues of food insecurity and malnutrition. Furthermore, it is essential to celebrate and expand upon the various initiatives that are enabling healthy diets for all, both across Africa and in other parts of the world. For instance, one significant action is the provision of healthy school meals for all school children, which plays a vital role in promoting nutrition and well-being from an early age. Additionally, the development and utilization of food systems-based dietary guidelines are pivotal in guiding policies and programs that aim for better outcomes for individuals and the food systems that support them. Importantly, we must ensure that these actions are inclusive and address the unique needs of the most vulnerable populations, particularly children in their first 5 years of life, who are at a critical stage of their development. Together, these efforts represent a comprehensive approach to enhancing food security and nutrition, fostering a healthier food future for all. We must recognize that the path to achieving the right to food and good nutrition is paved with collaboration and innovation. Governments, civil society, the private sector, and international organizations must unite in a concrete effort to address the multifaceted challenges of food insecurity and malnutrition. We need to invest in sustainable agricultural practices that enhance productivity while protecting our environment. This includes supporting smallholder farmers who play a crucial role in feeding our populations and ensuring food security. By empowering these farmers with access to resources, technology, and markets, we can foster resilient agri-food systems that benefit everyone. Furthermore, we must prioritize education and awareness around nutrition. It is essential that individuals and communities understand the importance of healthy diets and the impact of food choices on their well-being. By promoting nutritional education, we can empower people to make informed decisions that lead to healthier lives. In addition, we must advocate for policies that ensure food systems are inclusive and equitable. This means addressing the barriers that marginalized communities face in accessing nutritious foods. It also involves tackling the systemic inequalities that perpetuate hunger and malnutrition, ensuring that no one is left behind. As we move forward, let us harness the power of technology and innovation to create solutions that enhance food security. From digital platforms that connect farmers to consumers, to advancements in food preservation and distribution, we have the tools at our disposal to make a significant impact. As I conclude, I would like to request all of us to reaffirm our commitment to the right to food for all. Let us work together to build a future where everyone has access to the nutritious foods they need to lead healthy and fulfilling lives. The journey ahead may be difficult and challenging, but with determination, collaboration, and a shared vision, we can achieve a world free from hunger and malnutrition. Let us take action today for a better tomorrow. I thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Your Highness, for being with us today and for sharing important messages on nutrition. Food heroes are also playing a part. Each year, we highlight the efforts of the women, men, boys and girls who are helping to realize the right to foods for all, nurturing our communities and making a positive change, even under challenging circumstances.
A few of our food heroes are here with us today in the audience. They have been here with us this week, participating in activities in the indigenous tent, and you'll be seeing a lot of them today here at FAO.
And some will also take part in a very special event tomorrow, mentioned earlier by our Director General. In fact, Junior World Food Day will join forces with the World Food Forum School Assembly to inspire youth to take action for a sustainable food future. About 1,000 students will attend in this very room, engaging through stories, live music, interactions with special guests, quizzes, and games.
Excellencies, friends, colleagues, guests, please join us in giving a big round of applause to our heroes who are joining us here on the stage.
You start.
Rodrigo Frigori,
Ricardo Frugoli,
who has distributed millions of meals to vulnerable people in Sao Paulo, Brazil, and integrated many homeless people back into society.
We also have with us Chef Rodrigo Pacheco. He's our National Goodwill Ambassador for Ecuador, and he integrates the local biodiversity that surrounds him into his kitchens. If you want to see him in action, he'll be these days in the Indigenous Advocacy Tent. Muchas gracias por estar con nosotros.
Nisa Wargadipura, who through a farmer field school in Indonesia has helped young farmers to learn sustainable farming techniques and value traditional knowledge. She has been sharing her knowledge throughout the community radio broadcasting from FAO this week.
And now up to Matteo Ward from Italy. Big round of applause for Matteo. Matteo talks about the deep connection between fashion and agriculture, and he's advocating to protect natural resources for a better environment. Today, he will be giving a special workshop on how upcycle clothing, and he will be participating also tomorrow in our event. Grazie, Matteo, per essere con noi.
Ace and Speedy from Harlem Globetrotters.
Yoo-hoo! Yoo-hoo!
Based in the United States, their entertaining performances inspire millions. With FAO, players in their team have been raising awareness on nutrition, from visiting school gardens in Dominican Republic to participating with us in the recently concluded United General Assembly in New York. Ace and Speedy will also be taking part in the youth event tomorrow as part of the Italian educational project Cresco. They will go to Rome's suburban area of Tolbera, Monaco, to meet students.
And a round of applause for Judy Kipkenda. Judy is a dedicated advocate of the Ojek indigenous people of the Mau Forest in Kenya. She's using traditional knowledge to sustain her community through initiatives such as seed banks, traditional farming, and traditional beekeeping. She's also participating this week, and you can find her in the Indigenous Advocacy Tent. Thank you so much for being with us, Judy.
Ebru by Barademir, a Turkish chef, winner of the Basque Culinary World Prize. She is a champion of women and refugees. She's also a champion of food loss and waste awareness.
A big round of applause for our food heroes.
Thank you so much, our champions and food heroes. Their dedication to the next generation and collective action for a better future.
You may now take your seats. A big round of applause while we salute our food heroes. And happy to see you these days at FAO. Grazie. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. While they take a seat, Thank you so much. We have another guest.
Yes.
Right, Frank?
And now we cross over to New York, home to the United Nations. It is a pleasure to share a message from the UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres.
Something is very wrong with a world in which hunger and malnutrition are a fact of life for billions of children, women and men. On World Food Day, we remind ourselves of the 733 million people who are short of food because of conflict, marginalization, climate change, poverty and economic downturns, including those who face the threat of man-made famine in Gaza and Sudan. Or the 2.8 billion people who cannot afford a healthy diet, including those who are overweight as global obesity rates soar. The good news is that a zero-hunger world is possible. The 2021 Food Systems Summit set us on a course to tackle the inefficiencies and inequities built into our food systems. Food systems need a massive transformation with the contributions of businesses, academics, research institutions, and civil society to become more efficient, inclusive, resilient, and sustainable. Governments must work with all partners to incentivize the production and sale of healthy, nutritious food at affordable prices. On World Food Day, let's step up the fight against hunger and malnutrition. Let's take action to uphold the right to food for a better life and a better future.
The UN Secretary-General has just highlighted the importance of collective action. Where I come from, we have a saying, if you want to go fast, go alone. And if you want to go far, go together. It's in this spirit that I would like to now give the floor to our next keynote speaker. This year marks the 20th anniversary of the Right to Food Guidelines, a milestone made possible with the support of key partners like Germany. Their long-standing collaboration with FAO was essential in the adoption of these guidelines and continues to drive their implementation. Please join us in welcoming Her Excellency Ophelia Nick, Parliamentary State Secretary for the Federal Ministry of Food and Agriculture of Germany. You're welcome.
Director General, Excellencies, Ministers, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure it will now come as a surprise to you that Germany is delighted to see that this year's World Food Day was dedicated to the right to food. Germany is a keen supporter of rights-based approaches in agriculture and food systems, especially as hunger, malnutrition, and nutritional deficiencies have once again been on the rise around the globe over the last 10 years. We are convinced that fighting hunger in the world is not a case of certain countries being benevolent. It is instead a legal obligation that is binding for all states. It is Article 11 on the UN Social Covenant that makes it mandatory for the international community to end hunger and all forms of malnutrition and undernourishment. With this article, the contracting states recognize everyone's right to adequate food. The establishment as a human right shows that adequate food is not only a moral requirement, which can be interpreted as one pleases. It's governance issues which concerns the entire political system. 20 years ago, in 2024, FAO adopted specific recommendations on how the right to adequate food could be progressively realized. The voluntary guidelines to support the progressive realization to the right to adequate food in the context of national food security, this is the full title, were developed by the Committee of World Food Security, the CFS. These guidelines have a transformative power if we apply them. We all should rely on them as a basis for working together in our endeavor to achieve SDG 2, zero hunger. Especially in these times, we need to be aware that all conflicts, wars, and multiple crises are human-made and affect the state of food security in the world. It is our responsibility to foster multilateral cooperation to overcome these times of crisis. Only together, we will be able to achieve our common goal. Humanity has already shown that it's capable of doing so. Thank you.
Dankeschön for being with us on this occasion. We are 3 agencies in Rome with 3 mandates, all with a common vision for achieving food security, nutrition, and sustainable agriculture. Let's first hear from the World Food Programme, who is providing food to conflict-displaced and disaster-stricken people in countries around the world. Here to address our gathering is the Executive Director of the World Food Programme, Cindy McCain.
Thank you very much. Director General, thank you for hosting this today. We appreciate being able to get together and certainly talk about these incredible issues. Your Majesty, ministers, excellencies, and my good friends around the room, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to join today's ceremony to mark World Food Day 2024. We come together at a time of rising humanitarian needs, fueled by the growing number of devastating conflicts, more frequent climate disasters, and widespread economic turmoil. I want to go off script for 1 minute, if I may. There's hundreds of thousands of humanitarian aid workers around the world right now on the front lines of conflict, trying to deliver to those people who cannot help themselves. Humanitarian aid workers are not targets. We are not targets. So I call on all of you to advocate on behalf of all of those who are on the front lines, using your skills, your political know-how, and your abilities to make sure the world knows that we are not targets. And I thank you for whatever you can do. Tragically, 2024 is the year that famine returned to our world in Darfur regions of Sudan. Desperately vulnerable people in Gaza and Haiti and are just one step behind, struggling to survive in famine-like conditions. And this is happening just as it's getting harder all the time for humanitarians to do their work. It's harder to access people in need. It's more difficult to plan and predict future needs where new crises will emerge. It's more dangerous than ever before for humanitarians to operate. And it's tougher to raise the resources we need to provide life-saving help to millions of people who rely on us. At WFP over the past year, we've been forced to make painful decisions about whom we can support. Yet we are undeterred. Our job is to deliver food, help, and hope, as we always do, and whatever it takes. Last year alone, we reached over 150 million people with life-saving assistance. So we're not giving up or giving in, far from it. We're more determined than ever to fulfill the Rome-based agency's shared mission to end hunger and achieve food security for all. At WFP, we have proven scalable solutions to hunger, which support long-term resilience and reduce needs over time, can work. Last year, we implemented anticipatory action and early warning programs in 36 countries around the world, helping vulnerable communities protect their lives and livelihoods against the devastating impacts of climate change. We're also working with a wide range of governments and other partners, including FAO and IFAD, in a global movement to expand and scale up our school meals program. We want every child in every nation to be nourished each day by a healthy school meal and the precious gift of education. And we're forging ambitious new partnerships with the private sector to harness the exciting potential of science, technology, and innovation. We all must work together to create food systems capable of feeding every single person on our planet. Excellencies, at WFP, we understand that budgets are under strain and governments everywhere are having to make tough decisions. But we're strongly committed to working in partnership to halt the relentless growth of humanitarian needs and build resilience among the most vulnerable communities. Together we can and we must achieve our shared vision of a better and more prosperous and hunger-free future for all. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for your words, Executive Director McCain. The International Fund for Agricultural Development, IFAD, invests in rural development as it is central to fighting hunger and poverty. To mark this World Food Day, we have the honor to invite to stage IFAD's Vice President, Geraldine Mkeshimana. You're welcome on the stage.
Your Majesty, Excellencies, dear colleagues, once more, happy World Food Day and a very happy birthday to FAO. Every day, 750 million people suffer from hunger. In low-income countries, 71% of people still cannot afford a healthy diet. Statistics are very important, but we must remember that behind numbers are human lives. A mother who is forced to take off food from her own plate to be able to feed her children. A child who cannot concentrate on her own education because she is constantly hungry. Even a whole generation that is being robbed of their productivity potential because poor nutrition in their childhood has left them stunted. Each of these people that I have mentioned, they have a right to sufficient and nutritious food. Each of them has a right to a better life and a better hope. And each of these individuals are overwhelmingly likely to be living in rural areas. In fact, 8 out of 10 of the world's poorest live in rural areas. Esteemed guests, rural areas, that's where sustainable development goals are going to succeed or die. It is the truth. But it is also a great opportunity for our generation if we want to seize it. Investment in infrastructure and public goods for rural communities have a huge impact. As rural people hold keys and much of the knowledge that is needed to achieve sustainable rural development. Small-scale farmers produce almost half of the world's food on only a fifth of farmland. However, the size of investment that has been going to them is disproportionately very, very tiny. Actually, less than 1% of climate finance goes to these stewards of our food, our lands, our water, even our biodiversity. Farming, even small farming, is a business. And IFAD invests to make it viable. We invest by improving the quality of inputs, supporting value addition, and access to markets. IFAD's approach is based on partnerships. We partner with rural communities, local institutions, governments, and other partners, and together we build the resilience of rural societies to realize their right to adequate food, to better incomes, and to a sustainable future. That's why IFAD calls for urgent, collective, and concrete investments in rural poor farmers for them to realize their basic right to nutritious foods. The greatest challenge here is to find equitable financing solutions to scale up financing for food security and nutrition. These investments can help develop vibrant rural economies and transform local food systems. Development financial institutions, including ourselves at IFAD, we must increase the lending capacity by expanding the funding base. We must increase concessional resources, especially for the poorest and most debt-distressed countries. And we must be innovative in our approach to attract greater levels of private sector investments. The world has been undervaluing the role of small-scale farmers in the global food security for too long. By investing in and for small-scale farmers, we are investing in a better chance to a better future, ensuring that no one is left behind. Thank you.
Urakoze chane, Dr. Mukeshimana. And now we're happy to share an example of women's empowerment. We're about to bring you to a journey to Ghana with our food hero, Chef Fatmata Binta. She's an influential figure in the culinary world who is working with women fonio producers to boost their productivity and income while preserving a piece of African culinary history. Let's watch her in action.
My name is Fatmata Binta. I'm a chef. I come from a tribe called the Fulanis. It's the largest nomadic tribe in Africa. There was a time I experienced civil war in Sierra Leone. When the war broke, we had to flee to my ancestral home, and rice and every other food they had couldn't sustain us. We had to come up with sustainable ways to actually sustain ourselves. And we started growing fonio. So for me, fonio is very personal. These days we talk a lot about food loss, we talk about hunger, we talk about climate change, and I see fonio as a solution. I call it the iconic grain. Fonio is a very special grain. It's a tiny grain. It's very nutritious and delicious. It's also indigenous to Africa. It's very easy to grow. And it also thrives in drought areas, so all arid areas. I really encourage everyone I meet to add it to their diet. I've spent a lot of time traveling across Africa, learning about indigenous knowledge and techniques from indigenous women. And I think it shapes me a lot as a chef. The sourcing and growing of fonio in this community has impacted these women greatly, because the more they grow fonio, the more they sell it, more collaboration, the more skills we transfer here from one generation to another. They're able to feed their families, they're able to put their kids through school. It tackles all the areas of better production, better nutrition, better environment, and better lives. I believe in creating opportunities for women in these rural communities. This collaboration between FAO and I has been very impactful. I'm just looking forward to it growing from here.
As we've just seen, fonio is making a remarkable comeback. To hear from her directly, you can join actually Chef Binta at the Indigenous Advocacy Tent this week. And now we will hear a message from the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation of Italy, as well as Deputy Prime Minister Tajani, read by the Ambassador Bruno Archi, Permanent Representative of Italy to FAO and the Rome-based agencies.
Signor Direttore Generale, autorità tutte, eccellenze e colleghi, leggo un messaggio del Vicepresidente del Consiglio dei Ministri e Ministro degli Affari Esteri e della Cooperazione Internazionale, onorevole Antonio Tajani, in occasione della celebrazione della Giornata Mondiale dell'Alimentazione. Mi unisco con piacere al Direttore Generale Chu Dong-yu e ai suoi autorevoli ospiti nella celebrazione della Giornata Mondiale dell'Alimentazione, che ci ricorda che quello al cibo è un diritto umano imprescindibile, per il quale sono necessari impegno, sforzo comune e investimenti concreti. Il governo italiano è fortemente impegnato a fare la sua parte. Penso alla nostra strategia di politica estera e di cooperazione allo sviluppo, che dedica una particolare attenzione ai temi dello sviluppo rurale e della trasformazione dei sistemi agroalimentari, anche in connessione con un maggiore intervento del settore privato per favorire la crescita, il benessere e l'occupazione. Questo è vero in primo luogo per l'Africa, una priorità strategica assoluta del Governo. Qui, anche con iniziative come il Piano Mattei, abbiamo cambiato l'approccio al continente per favorire partenariati paritari per la crescita condivisa. Vi aspetto a Pescara, dove parleremo approfonditamente di questi temi, insieme ad altri aspetti cruciali come la situazione umanitaria in Medio Oriente, la salute globale e lo sport come strumento di sviluppo, alla riunione dei ministri G7 dello sviluppo che presiederò la prossima settimana. La FAO sarà anche in quell'occasione al nostro fianco, come lo è in Food for Gaza. Con questa iniziativa, che ho lanciato insieme anche al Programma Alimentare Mondiale e alla Croce Rossa Mezzaluna Rossa, portiamo il nostro contributo e quello delle migliori forze vive del Paese alla popolazione civile di Gaza per contribuire in prospettiva alla ricostruzione materiale e sociale della striscia e rilanciare l'impegno per la pace. La complessità delle sfide che abbiamo davanti richiede uno sforzo corale da parte di tutta la comunità internazionale. Siamo orgogliosi di ospitare a Roma il Polo Alimentare delle Nazioni Unite, che di questo sforzo è un asse portante. Contate su di me, contate sul governo italiano. Antonio Tajani. Grazie.
Grazie mille, Ambasciatore. Dr. Curry Fowler, the Special Envoy for Global Food Security with the U.S. State Department, and this year's recipient of the World Food Prize, is often referred to as the father of the Svalbard Seed Vault. This is a library of seeds protecting the world's crop diversity, backed by FAO. Unfortunately, Dr. Fowler could not be with us here. His Excellency Ambassador Jeffrey Prescott, the U.S. representative to FAO, will be delivering his address instead. Ambassador, the floor is yours.
Good morning. Good morning. All right, Excellencies. It is an honor and a privilege to be here with all of you to commemorate World Food Day and share a vision and a message of unity on this year's theme, the right to food. Today, we mark the founding of the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization in 1945, of course, but it was actually 2 years earlier that this institution started to come to life. In the midst of World War II, the United States organized and hosted a conference in Hot Springs, Virginia, to forge a common vision for combating hunger and malnutrition and to announce support for the creation of the FAO, which would shepherd this work. During that conference, President Roosevelt thanked world leaders for, quote, dealing with agriculture, the most basic of all human activities, and with food, the most basic of all human needs, end quote. Those principles have guided the work of the FAO and served as a moral compass for us all. They remind us of an essential truth. Everyone, everywhere, has the right to food. I'll be honest, the United States has not always been as clear as we need to be on this point. Today, I will be clear. Every human being has the right to food. Every human being has the right to food. We all know that is reflected in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. It is reflected in the International Covenant on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights. It is reflected in the ideals of the FAO. And it is, more than anything, a fundamental truth, one that is, in so many ways, self-evident. Let us make it self-evident. Thank you. If you want to know the soul of a nation, look to its aspirations and vision for the future. If you want to determine its resolve, look not only to its words, but its deeds. And speaking for the American people today, I can say our vision is clear. We face the reality of the world as it is, head on. Food insecurity remains a problem in all countries, including our own. And that's why the Biden-Harris administration laid out a transformational vision to end hunger and reduce diet-related disease in the United States by 2030, closing disparities among the most impacted communities. But it is not lost on us that for all of our impressive technological advances and innovation in agriculture over the decades, we live in a world where approximately 29% of humanity, over 2.3 billion people, are moderately or severely food insecure. And 71% of people living in low-income countries cannot afford a nutritious diet. More people die from hunger and related causes globally than in all violent conflicts, both inter- and intrastate combined. These are astounding facts. Hunger anywhere in a world of such abundance is an insult to human dignity. The United States, as the largest donor to the Food and Agriculture Organization and the World Food Program, is fully committed to righting this wrong. In 2010, we launched Feed the Future, an effort across 3 White House administrations has helped millions of vulnerable people and communities lift themselves out of hunger and poverty, and we're just getting started. We've been proud to partner with the FAO, the African Union, IFAD, and other leaders from around the world to advance the vision for adapted crops and soils to help build diverse, sustainable, resilient food systems. Because we know food security can only exist when everyone has access to diverse, nutritious, safe, and affordable diets. And we know future generations depend on our ability to maintain a clean, healthy, and sustainable environment. Before I came here to Rome, under the leadership of Ambassador Thomas Greenfield and the US mission in New York, we made tackling food insecurity a focus of all 3 of our presidencies in the UN Security Council. And after Russia's brutal invasion of Ukraine in 2022, we rallied more than 100 countries to join a roadmap to stabilize and protect global food security. This year, Ukraine is expected to export more food than before the conflict, even as we continue to help them defend their agricultural capacity against assault. Here in Rome, we have focused on relentless diplomacy to address the most critical humanitarian crises, from Sudan to Gaza, Haiti to Burma to the DRC. The United States remains proud to be the largest single donor of humanitarian assistance, including food aid, providing more than $54 billion for urgent, life-saving needs globally since 2021, $5.2 billion for Africa in 2024 alone. We've worked to shine a spotlight on the role of women farmers by leading alongside more than 120 colleagues and co-sponsors here today the International Year of the Women Farmer, and are making strategic investments to advance gender equality and opportunity within agri-food systems. And as we work with partners to tackle global hunger, we are committed to leading the world in ending malnutrition, improving diets, and preventing child and maternal deaths. We announced in 2021 plans to invest up to $11 billion toward this effort over 3 years, and we're on track to meet this commitment. And through our McGovern-Dole program, we are implementing the world's largest school meals program. And by the way, I agree with His Majesty. There's no reason we shouldn't be able to provide school meals for millions more children around the world. Finally, we cannot address global hunger without addressing the climate crisis. The 2 are inextricably linked. Climate change drives agricultural yields down, at the same time that agriculture and food systems generate almost 1/3 of global greenhouse emissions. That's why we're working to advance solutions to address the 2 together and make historic investments in climate-smart agriculture. There is an urgency to this task. Friends and colleagues, Excellencies, I have seen the horrors of hunger, of man-made hunger, up close, as have many of you. For me, the eyes of a young Sudanese refugee who was being treated at an MSF hospital in Chad, who was so severely underweight that he was too weak to speak or to cry. The silence in that ward will haunt me forever. But I have also seen the power of progress. I have seen hope in the eyes of young students I met in Cox's Bazar in Bangladesh, nourished at school, keeping them in school. They've learned how to plant a garden, bringing seeds home to help their families provide for themselves. And they want to grow up to be doctors, scientists, and yes, farmers. And so, even in the face of so many grave challenges, I wake up every day with determination, indeed, with optimism. It is within our power to feed the world's most vulnerable. To echo President Biden's words at his recent address in the UN General Assembly, things can get better. On this World Food Day, let us not shy away from the challenges before us. The United States is committed, in word and deed, to a world free from hunger. We invite everyone here to join us, work with us together to make that happen. Thank you.
Thank you.
And now is the moment to celebrate and recognize individuals whose achievements inspire positive change. Welcome to the FAO Achievement Award ceremony. I'm Vanessa Curcio from the Awards Secretariat. It has been a very competitive process with high-quality nominations from over 40 countries with 3 rigorous rounds of screenings. We're going to celebrate outstanding achievements and learn from their incredible journeys. And talking about journeys, all the way from our FAO China office, joining me today is Li Dong, who will join me today in moderating this award. Welcome and 欢迎你.
Yes, that's very good Chinese. Grazie, Vanessa. It's a great pleasure for me here to showcase the positive outcomes of our colleagues' tireless efforts. First, I would like to thank our Director General, Dr. Qu Dongyu, to be with us to present the awards. And also a special thank you to the chairperson of the FAO Council, which is also part of our selection committee, and also the chairpersons of finance and program committees. And also guests, colleagues, and friends. Every obstacle we face, that becomes a challenge that only through collaboration brings us closer to the innovative solutions. And also the power of teamwork and knowledge sharing is crucial in overcoming the global threats.
Indeed, the one such threat is the fall armyworm, a transboundary pest disease capable of flying 100 kilometers in one single night. So its rapid spread, of course, poses serious risks to plant health and food security. But with a short video, we will get a glance at the risks this pest poses, as well as the efforts our colleagues and partners are doing to tackle this challenge.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is clear that protecting plant health means protecting our food security. Today, here with us, the awardee is the Institute of Plant Protection, Chinese Academy of Agricultural Sciences, IPCAS, 中国农业科学院植物保护研究所。 IPCAS has been recognized for its significant contribution to combating the fall army worm, not only in China, but also beyond, as shown in the video. And also, Vanessa, could you please tell us more about the winner? Thank you.
Sure. The Institute established an international framework for control and extended its support to the countries in need, resulting in improved food security and reduced crop prices. I would like to welcome the Director General to present the award to Professor Liu, Director General of IPCAS. You're welcome on the stage.
谢谢张干事。只拿这一份，对，拿一啊。So now let's welcome Professor Liu to speak a few words. Thank you.
Honorable Director General, Dr. Qu Dongyi, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It's my great honor to attend the FAO Award ceremony. The presentation, the Institute of Plant Protection, Chinese Academy of Agricultural Science, IPCAS, to receive the 2024 FAO Achievement Award. This award recognizes the contributions made by IPCAS in provision and control of farming war, a major transboundary past under the global warning of FAO in past few years. Following the invasion of farming war in China in December 2018, the Chinese government made a rapid response to develop the provision and control measures to safeguard national food security. The effects has successfully prevented the large-scale outbreak of farming war in China and keep the yard loss of core production under 3%. During this process, IPCAS have taken the lead in organizing national research programs and comprehensively studying the migration part of farming war in China and established an ecological friendly regional pest management system. Under the support of Chinese Minister of Agriculture and Rural Affairs, this system was widely promoted and used across China. In meanwhile, IPCAS has also established a long partnership with FAO and support the implementation of FAO-led group action of farming war control by organizing international conferences, technical training workshops, and developing control products. IPCAS has provided Chinese solutions to Southeast Asian and Africa countries. Today, we receive the FAO Achievement Award, which is a great honor for us. I would like to express my heartfelt thanks to the support from all of you. In the future, we will continue work with the international communities to fight crop pest and disease together and make the better contributions to the global food security. Thank you.
Professor Liu. Thank you. And thank you, everyone. Please join us in another round of applause for this remarkable achievement and all the nominations which embody the spirit of FAO. The true power of recognition lies in its ability to inspire others. Award winners become role models, demonstrating that progress is possible and surely achievable.
All powerful inspirations for our work together in pursuit of a better future and a better life for all, leaving no one behind. Thank you.
Thank you.
谢谢。
I just used 1 minute to give the little bit surprise gift to the Honorable His Majesty King Lesotho. Please, I invite you on the stage. You know, the Graziano is here, and since quite a long time ago, His Majesty always fully engaged, deeply engaged. His role as a goodwill ambassador on behalf of FAO, for Africa, beyond Africa. But you see, to this, he still stay here, make a very powerful, inspired speech. So last night, even very late, but I met my special calligrapher to Honorable His Majesty for this. It's a small token souvenir. So it means Congratulations World Food Day 2024. We need the diversified food and diversified culture, and also harmonize the human kind, harmonize the world, and then we will persuade, ensure the peaceful world with food security. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Director General. And thank you, Your Majesty, for being with us and all of those that you inspire. So today in closing, this is the last segment. So today in closing this ceremony, I'd like to look a little forward to the countdown, the 365 days of action and activity. That's action on the ground, as we have heard by those of us both here and in country delivering, and action by each and every one of you. And as part of this, we are going to celebrate the stories and the histories, the achievements, both in very difficult times and in times of reprieve. And we look towards those times of reprieve. I'm joined by my colleague Sabina here on the stage for just a few words about one of these initiatives that is actually going to be looking not only at the future, but being inspired by the past and honoring the past in order to learn and to know more about how to engage in the future.
1 year from today, Yasmina, the countdown will culminate with the opening of the FAO's Food and Agriculture Museum and Network, as the Director General mentioned before. This space will be a permanent exhibition, physical and digital, an educational experience open to the public and dedicated, as the name says, to food and agriculture, our collective connection to it, and of course, FAO's mandate.
It also says that it's a network, which means that each and every one of you here in this room, representing members, representing beneficiaries and individuals, that should be your space as well. So we look forward to be engaging with you, engaging not only with our host country, Italy, whom we would like to thank for spearheading this initiative and supporting, but of course, Sabina, with members.
Of course, this knowledge space will promote knowledge sharing, best practices, global traditions and foods, advancements in science and innovation, and very important, the role of women, indigenous peoples, and youth in contributing to a sustainable future. We are looking forward to engaging with all partners. As you said, Yasmina, this will be a network, a real network.
So very shortly, Sabina will be leading a ceremony which is going to be the unveiling of, here in FAO, the logo of the Food and Agriculture Museum and Network. And everybody will be able to be inspired throughout the week. Please do go down and take a look and get your inspiration to see how you will all fit there in the network. But if I can say just two more things before we actually let you go in song and dance with the youth.
Yes, indeed. See you downstairs in the library for a short ceremony presenting the museum, where the Director General, along with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation of Italy, will unveil the logo of the museum. Colgo l'occasione anche per ringraziare la Soprintendenza Speciale Archeologia, Belle Arti e Paesaggio di Roma. Grazie mille. Thank you for being with us and for the valuable support and collaboration in carrying out this and many other initiatives.
Which I am sure you have seen in the house with all of the decorations. So let us look to the future. And no ceremony could end without the youth. They are the change makers of tomorrow and of today. So I'm going to let them take you out in song and dance. Please give it up to the youth.
Every child has a right to food. Raise your voice for a better life and future. For a better life and future. Sin derecho a la alimentación. Alza tu voz por una vida y futuro mejores. Por una vida y futuro mejores.
Tell me why kids go to sleep hungry. We got a right to eat no matter what country. Pourquoi la famine est-elle aux infos? Ça n'a pas de sens, c'est monde assez de nourriture.
为何还会有人饥饿？这世界本不该有饥寒交迫。
Porque el dolor y el conflicto es absurdo que no avancemos.
А как же катаклизм грозится нам бедой? Неравенством к жизнь приносит он порой.
ليه الجوع لسه موجود مع اننا بنتحداه بقالنا سنين.
Porque do campo ao prato nosso sistema alimentar não é seguro.
Perché il mondo non può stare in pace, non si può controllare come e quando mangiare.
Yo que en fondo salimos frente a un tawa. Pour un bien avenir meilleur. Pour un bien avenir meilleur. 每个孩子都要成长，伸出手，构建美好生活与未来，构建美好生活与未来。
La alimentación es un derecho, una necesidad.
Такой же ясный ум, навыки и знания сожгут тебе героя здорового питания.
Innovare, mantenendo tradizione, più verde il pianeta, aria e vita migliore. Give a helping hand, even just a little bit. Stay informed, become a label literate.
Escolhe bem, reduz o desperdício, educa a comunidade, melhora o mundo de verdade.
C'est facile, c'est la mission. Des aliments abordables et de bonne nutrition.
许下美好的心愿，坚信着现实会发生改变。
مش عايزين آملنا يروح فبنعلي صوتنا ونقول
Let's go! Дети не должны знать боль и голод. Так сделай шаг в борьбе за право на питание, в борьбе за право